So I was asking her earlier, would you want the role to be reversed? Like, would you aspire to put all the work in and go out and sacrifice for your family, remove yourself from the home, and pay for everything happily for the family? Like, would you aspire to that? Is that something aspirational you would like?
I don't think it's necessarily about the roles being reversed. I think it's about the type of partnership that you have. And that was leading me into my next question. For you being a helpmate, would you be able to help with finances if you don't have any education in finance? Would you be able to help with paying bills if you don't have any education in paying bills? Would you be able to help in some of the things that your man does if you don't have any education or experience doing so?
I know plenty of women that pay their bills and have finance skills that didn't go to school for it. Going to school doesn't
But I didn't say
qualify
school, I
you
said education.
to pay a bill. Like,
I didn't
what
say
is the
school, I
point?
said
You don't
education.
need formal education to do any of those tasks that you just named.
Yeah,
Okay.
but I didn't say
My
formal
grandmother got
education.
like 4 houses and she didn't have formal. Like, what are you talking
What
about?
do you mean, Casey, when you say education? Do you mean if you've never had any history of doing it on your own, would you be able
Yes.
to do it?
Or
Okay.
not even just doing it on your own, of doing it, period. If you're
So,
saying that you are to be a helpmate, it's
right.
very hard to at the same time while you're trying to get things done teach somebody how to do it, right? So
Mm-hmm.
wouldn't you be a more beneficial helpmate to have some previous knowledge on how to do these things and how to keep a household running, how to keep finances in order? Because in terms of being a helpmate, you have to have some background. You can't just come and say, hey, I'm a nurturer and I'm a caretaker and that's my role as a woman and I can give birth to babies, and so I'm going to be the utmost, I'm going to be the best helpmate there is, because
So,
that's where you deal with women, or men end up dealing with women that can't contribute much to their household. But
understandable.
again, why would you want to is your question.
No, no, my question isn't why would you? I feel like we're like going like this in conversation.
No, I'm just
Just
trying
a
to
little.
understand.
No, I understand,
Hmm.
and I'm hoping to give you clarity here
Hmm.
because the, no one is, especially nowadays, right? We don't go from high school to marriage.
I
You
mean,
usually
I
go
I can't
from
say that.
high school, maybe you. I'm talking about nowadays, today, 2025. You
Hmm.
going from high school, maybe you go to college, maybe you go get a job. So you've had time literally in between where you've at least paid a few bills. You know how to do that.
Hmm.
You had to manage some money. Maybe you know how to do that.
Hmm.
But I don't think, right, that anyone is coming into these relationships blind, just totally oblivious to these things. The fact that I'm saying I'm a helpmate doesn't mean that I don't have experience doing these things on my own. What it says is that I don't want to do these things on my own for the rest of my life.
Hmm.
I would love to just be a helper and that just be my role.
Hmm.
And if there is a woman that wants to do all of that, then that's fine.
Hmm.
But you, and also to that point, right, in not being educated in something before you do it. I'm a mom, okay?
Right.
Um, I had a mom, she had a mom. Doesn't matter how many moms you run into. When you have that first baby, that's the first time you ever gonna do it, right? You have no education, ain't no books,
Hmm.
you don't know what you're doing. It's just like when you're getting married. You might have had a relationship and you had other relationships, but this relationship is new, this marriage is new. You're going to learn as you go.
Hmm.
So even though it might be daunting and a lot to teach someone, as you stated, as you're going, that's what you're going to have to do if
Hmm.
they don't have experience in doing it. But when it comes to like finances and managing money, most people have already had to do that before they meet someone else to
And
some degree.
would you base that on just the black culture or white culture? Because I don't have statistics present, right? But oftentimes, other people of other races are trained to go to high school or go to have some college or whatever, but they're trained to get married and to go
Right.
and find you a husband.
You
And
correct.
even still, they are still trained to go and pursue some type of education or have some understanding of how to handle a business and how to run businesses in other cultures. But based on black culture, you're saying that we don't just jump out into the world and just get married right after high school. We go and work and we go and do this and we go and do that. That's what you're
Hmm.
saying?
Well, I wasn't speaking specifically only about black culture, but yes, for the most part, we
Hmm.
are not trained to go and find a husband in school. I think it was like another podcast we was talking about where white women are literally trained, like they go to college to find their husband, right? We don't.
Yeah, rain before spring. It's a thing.
Yeah, we don't do that. We go to college to experience it and for education. Right? So that's what I mean, where most Black women and men have already had experience on their own, managing something, having a job, having to take care of yourself. So you're never coming into a situation where we are just totally oblivious to what it means to help or to do something. Right? We usually, if we're being honest, for myself, I've had a job since I was 13. So most of us have learned how to make money and manage some money, or at least have a little bit of it since we were young, even if we're not great with it, right? So it's never a situation where you're just jumping in and you don't know anything at all.
Are women expected to sacrifice? You have to think about, okay, expected by who? So are they expected to sacrifice? So if they get with a man and a man is with them, do we expect them to sacrifice for love and for family? Yes, we do. The question is, do they sacrifice? I think it might have been Ty. To her credit, she said that they sacrifice based on their own choices. It's not on the choice. It's not something men don't come, like they don't make sacrifice because a man comes in and tell them you need to sacrifice. They make sacrifices based off of, okay, I had a child and now I have to be a mother. Okay, I'm living on my own. Now I have to get a job. It's not, oh, they get with some man. Like very rare do you see an instance where a woman gets with a man and he says, I'm about to move across the country, or you come, like that's not a thing. Most people aren't doing that. So I think everybody is expected to sacrifice when shit hit the fan. Nobody on this planet can just go through life and there's no expectation for them to give up something to receive something, or give up something to their own detriment. That's how we operate. Let's see. What else did the lady say?
I think we're being very specific on what they're sacrificing.
Yeah.
I get what you're saying, Sweeney, that everybody is expected to sacrifice something. But who's expected to sacrifice the pursuit of their careers, pursuit of their dreams?
Well, I would say that if we were talking about the 1920s, 1930s, and 1940s, this would be a valid argument for women. Yes, I was expected to sacrifice my career and all of that. Today, no. In fact, y'all haven't been told to sacrifice y'all careers for the better part, for love or marriage or family, for 40 years. Nobody, especially Black women, nobody has told y'all to do that for 40 years. And whatever the reason may be, some of them said don't do it because men ain't shit. Some of them said don't do it because parenting ain't shit. Some people say don't do it because you ain't lived long enough. But there's a reason why they're telling people our women have been getting told to push marriage off and push children off for 40 years. Now they failed. They haven't really listened in the children department, but in the marriage department, y'all definitely listened and said, "Fuck, man, I'm not doing it until I get this, and this in order." The children, most children are unplanned. No, my bad. I'm lying. Half of children are unplanned. And I'm sure that number is probably significantly higher amongst Black folks. So it ain't like we're going into this and she's saying, oh, I'm about to have a child and I need to sacrifice. It's unplanned. They all oopsie babies. And then responsibility kicks in. This ain't you and the man get together and y'all plan out a family and y'all figure out how to map out life. That ain't what it is. It's sex is always the first is the first thing, and all the responsibility and all of that is an afterthought. Oh shit, we got a kid now. That means I got to work more. Oh shit, we got a kid now. That means I got to take care of him. What can we afford daycare? Can we do this? Oh shit, I got to stay at home a little bit more. Damn, you got to work an extra 20 hours a week. Should we get married? I don't know. It's all an afterthought. But what is being pushed, what we're being told to do, is damn sure not sacrifice for family. That is not what we're being told to do. Y'all ain't been told that shit y'all probably actually have not been told that shit in almost 70 years. But for the last 40 years, y'all definitely been told you ain't got to sacrifice a damn thing, especially not for no man. Y'all are just recently starting to be told not to sacrifice for your own kids.
What would that even sound like? Sacrificing. Hey, women, this is how you sacrifice for your family and kids. How would that even sound?